The thrill of the search, the challenge of the terrain, the profound impact that we can bring as search and rescue to save a life and to bring that person back home, or to be able to foster a permanent conclusion and have the family time to grieve. For many, bringing this profound impact that search and rescue is not just a skill. For many, it's the ultimate dream job. Hey everyone, and welcome back today. Today we are diving headfirst into the big question. Is making search and rescue a paid full-time career a realistic dream, or is it well just that, a dream? It is something that many dedicated volunteers ask themselves. The heroes out there looking there for the lost and injured often wonder about. The desire is understandable, but there's an immediate reality that will hit you like a rock. The vast majority of search and rescue operations globally rely on volunteers. To my own estimate, from the years in the field, that's around 95% active of people that are active within search and rescue are willing to do this and are doing this without pay and compensation. We invest our own money into gear, we invest our money into training, travel, sometimes even our flats through disaster zones, or travel uncompensated to assist with the search for a missing person. So much so that total expenses can run up in the thousands if we add up all our time, efforts, gas, and our gear. That is the level of dedication that we are talking about if you are committed to being involved within search and rescue. In this way, we can absolutely 100% say that the SAR community is fully exceptional in its commitment to help and save lives. So when we talk about getting paid to do this full-time, I won't say it is necessarily impossible, but the chances are very, very, very slim. That is just the truth of it. And it's the primary reasons why certified SAR techs, even those with extensive experience, view SAR as a deeply rewarding volunteer path, a profound way to contribute rather than a primary career. As my mentor says, never shun and that what pays you to play. However, and this is crucial, it is possible to build a career that either incorporates or heavily involves the skills that you learned within search and rescue. If you're strategic, highly skilled, and incredibly persistent, and that's what this video is going to be about, you can make it within search and rescue. So in this video, we're going to navigate how we can explore the paths that lead you to do this full time, or either incorporate the skills that you learn or will learn at search and rescue to do this at a full-time position. So we're going to help you with this video how to transition from an extremely passionate search and rescue volunteer to that which is making it more realistic to incorporate the skills that you learned within search and rescue. In this way, we will make it into a realistic dream to do search and rescue full time. For those that might be new here, my name is Robin. I've been involved within search and rescue for over almost a decade. I'm a SAR certified search and rescue instructor. I've had the privilege of, at least for the last 2 to 3 years, serving as SAR's country coordinator here in the Netherlands. And I'm committed to develop and help developing SAR capabilities worldwide, for which I've traveled the world and have seen different search and rescue teams globally. This journey has allowed me to learn from and teach search and rescue professionals around the globe. I'm a SAR Tech 1 backcountry search technician. I am currently a SAR-RA search rescue initial actions search coordinator, and I currently hold an ERATA 1, longing to strive with my current development of rope rescue skills. Alongside that, I have a wide range of first aid qualifications and continue to develop my skills while we're doing this, and I'll hopefully trying to teach these skills through the YouTube video that you're watching right now. I've been grateful that I have met so many people around the globe that are able to do search and rescue. So that are some of my credentials. I know credentialing is necessary. Some people will ask, hey, Robin, what is your background? What is your reason why you're even allowed to talk on this matter? Which I fully understand. So what are then these potential avenues where we can allow ourselves to do paid search and rescue work? The options are definitely out there. We just have to explore them. And then yet again, how can we even get the approach and the angle towards the direction where we want to go, so we then allow ourselves to do this paid full time? Before we do that, let me be absolutely clear on this matter. Volunteering with a reputable search and rescue organization is a foundational step for doing this in a professional manner. The hands-on experience, the networking, and the deep operational understanding you gain as a volunteer is absolutely extremely valuable to do this at a full-time pace. The experience that you gain are simply irreplaceable and very likely unlikely you're able to get anywhere else. Your time during a volunteer will help you establish your proven track record. Using your volunteer SAR experience to build your professional experience portfolio in search and rescue isn't just smart. In my opinion, it's even essential if you want to head in any of the direction we are now starting to mention. Yet, this should never ever be the main reason why you join a volunteer search and rescue team. Any of the following positions we are going to mention requires good maintaining of physical and mental health, even just you volunteering and your volunteer career as a search and rescue technician. Okay, so let's start looking at some of the pathways you can explore to make a job out of your search and rescue passion. The first one is very clearly military. This is where you find the most resources, structured training, and the dedicated full-time search and rescue roles. Think about Coast Guard, think about rescue swimmers, mostly the specialized units. Think about the Air Force Pararescue Men, PJs if you are over in the United States, or the SAR techs over in Canada. Military branches have dedicated branches towards being involved in search and rescue. Think about SAR, Combat Search and Rescue, Maritime SAR capabilities, or Aerial Search and Rescue capabilities. The training is intense. It will cover advanced medical skills. You need to learn how to survive in the wilderness, and you'll very likely work extensively with aircraft. The roles can vary from civilian rescues to complex personnel recovery missions in a military setting. This route will involve enlistment and very likely meeting high physical mental standards to maintain the physical and mental capabilities for these elite SAR specific roles. Just like any SAR position, being involved with the military in a search and rescue capability is a lifetime commitment, even not just for the other roles that we are going to talk in the other pathways. Pathway number 2 is law enforcement and fire service. Next, you should absolutely consider a career in the fire and law enforcement services. While many police departments have dedicated missing person units focused on investigation, some larger agencies may have specialized units that employ full-time search and rescue personnel. K9 handlers for tracking or human remains detection, dive teams, or even rope access and confined space specialists. Fire departments are often the primary responders for technical rescues. Think about about confined space, high angle work, swift water and rope rescue incidents, or even urban USAR collapse structure incidents. USAR teams are used to deploy towards large-scale disaster zones and might be a component of a search and rescue bigger role. It's important to understand that every single part of these teams and every single part of these roles are specialized teams. So how about you go about this role? Typically, you need to become a police officer or a firefighter first, and then seek specialization towards these search and rescue avenues. Do keep in mind that any of these positions are highly sought after, and you have to keep trying to come to your position. Again, not impossible, but you have to be extremely dedicated. Pathway number 3, park rangers and land management agencies. Another avenue of employment to do search and rescue full-time is to do park management or park ranger or something similar, like the National Park Service in the US or in the Netherlands, where we have the BOA's, where it's more dedicated towards a nature side of things. But you usually will get involved when there is a missing person or injured person case within your dedicated area. These roles frequently include search and rescue duties on the day-to-day, but it will vary on the area where you're stationed at. The benefits on working in these SAR-prone environments is that you actually get to do the search and rescue side. However, the job includes many other responsibilities like resource management, visitor education, and enforcement. These positions often require a relevant degree and are highly competitive. Pathway number 4, specialized technical rescue and industrial rescue. If your volunteer experience has given you strong technical rescue capabilities, you might be wanting to go in the direction of the industrial rope access world. This could be an absolute direction and option that even I am doing currently. Certifications like URATA, ITRA, or SPRAT are definitely of key here. This isn't your typical missing person, injured person case, but in the traditional sense. But it's definitely paid search and rescue work. In this role, you'll be providing safety and rescue capabilities at height, confined spaces at oil rigs, wind farms, construction sites, or even in mining operations or heavy industry. This path leverages a high level of technical rescue skills for industrial safety and emergency response. The core competencies are highly valued, and are also directly compensated, and sometimes those are pretty well paid. Pathway number 5, remote expedition and offshore medics. For those that already have some advanced medical qualifications, if you're a paramedic, you already are advanced in first aid, you have a combat history, you have been in the military, then this might be a valid option. Because you specializing as a remote medic or expedition medic or offshore medic presents a definite opportunity for you. These professionals provide medical care, emergency response, and evacuation coordination for groups in isolated or hazardous areas. These hazardous areas can involve scientific expeditions, adventure travel, or offshore industries. These roles demand additional specialized training in wilderness or remote medicine. While often being contract-based and therefore very temporary, they directly apply the rescue relevant and medical skills that you learn in search and rescue. Now we have had the 5 core pathways that allows you to do in the landscape of paid opportunities. Well, we are still selective. Let's broaden our look at some of the specialized and supporting roles that you can do, and let's explore these a little bit more further. Now we come to pathway number 6, civil protection and emergency management. If you're involved in search and rescue, your skills within crisis management are highly sought after, even in a civilian setting or emergency management setting, either at companies or government. Many countries, especially here in Europe, have robust civil protection or emergency management agencies. In USA, for example, you have FEMA. Think of organizations like German's THW, Technohilfswerk, Red Cross, France Sécurité Civile, which sometimes even employ full-time paid professionals in various emergency response capabilities and crisis management sections, either by managing the volunteers or making policy or getting involved in actually operational skills into sending out the volunteers or professionals out there in the world. More of these roles can range from frontline specialized rescuers, even to planners, logisticals and trainers within the national framework. Getting involved within this area involves civil servants applications, so it's usually government oriented or towards NGO, but your background being involved with volunteer search and rescue services is definitely going to help. Pathway number 7. Specialized civilian aviation search and rescue. Well, the military has a large aviation component. There are also civilian avenues you could take, although extremely rare and hard to get into. This includes pilots, winch operators, a medical crew working for private air ambulances that have maybe even SAR contracts or get involved within some type of medical evacuation. Some of these contracts might have SAR helicopters or even involve fixed wing search rescue operations. These roles highly demand a number of flight hours usually and aircraft and rescue qualifications, and often prior experience within search and rescue or medical service is required. A good avenue for you to get into this is becoming a paramedic. Pathway number 8. Professional K9 handling and training. While many SAR K9 handlers are volunteers, there is a small but growing field for professional K9 handlers. This could be working for private companies or either government, specializing sometimes in detention, private security, or even detecting human remains in some specific areas. For some specific government agencies, like either police, the requirement to have a full-time capability is traditionally law enforcement, or even in specialized highly independent contractors sometimes get hired to get on the job with government. Although very, very, very rare and usually is freelance as well. This not just requires an exceptional dog training skills, but also requires the certifications and a proven track record in operational services or searches. Pathway number 9. Equipment and technology specialists. If we have a deep understanding of search and rescue operations and the gear and equipment involved with it, you might be able to consider a career with companies that design, manufacture, or sell specialized search and rescue equipment. That could be a viable option. Think like companies that are involved with climbing gear, like Petzl. This very highly and might involve roles in sales, product development, technical consultation, or providing training on equipment. Well, this takes you probably away from the front line of being involved within search and rescue. You will be definitely involved supporting those that need the tools for the job to be involved within search and rescue. Pathway number 10. International humanitarian response and NGOs. Well, for those with a more global outlook than just their own country, you might want to start looking into some of the NGOs, the non-governmental organizations, and international bodies like the UN or UNDAC, UNDAC. Agencies like these deploy to disaster zones worldwide. They often require professional experience in coordination of SAR efforts, logistics, emergency medical care, managing relief operations. This pathway often requires experience in more professional roles in disaster management coordination of search and rescue efforts. Think of things like logistics, emergency medical care, managing relief operations, and being involved at incident command. These positions are as well highly competitive and difficult to get into, and usually require an in-depth prior knowledge in the field of experience within either disaster management or search and rescue. Having the relevant degrees into this and having extra language skills will help you to become better and have a higher chance in getting involved in one of these paid positions. Then, if you are more involved with the outdoor skills and you really like it, of course, that's why you're involved in search and rescue usually, you can consider pathway number 11, which is avalanche professionals and mountain guiding. Again, usually very a temporary position, but allows you to contribute with your search and rescue skills. In mountainous regions, especially those with winter recreation, there are rules for paid avalanche professionals or either ski patrolling or ski rescue. These include avalanche forecasters, highly skilled ski patrollers, and those with advanced rescue certifications like CAA Level 2 or 3 in North America, or equivalent qualifications as certified mountain guiding, think IFMGA and UIAGM. While guiding isn't necessarily a search and rescue role, it leans to the essential guide, the pathway. While guiding is not necessarily search and rescue, rescue is an inherent and part of the guiding part of the mountain guide's professional curriculum. And therefore, they are usually either called upon firstly when there is a mountain rescue going on. Now we are going on to the pathway number 12 and 13, which is instructing. Exactly what I'm doing here, teaching you how to become a better search and rescue professional. Before we start getting more into this, I want to start with pathway number 12. Professional first aid and wilderness medical instruction. Building upon the medical skills that you have acquired through your volunteer career, you might be able to teach these towards others. Becoming a professional first aid instructor is either at companies or in a wilderness setting teaching towards outdoor adventure specialists is definitely a viable career path. This isn't just about basic CPR teaching. It is more advanced, especially if you have your search and rescue background, which you can then use your first or last responder background to teach what you've learned. For those with a search and rescue background, it can mean specializing in advanced wilderness first aid, remote medical care, or even tactical emergency casualty care, or advanced resuscitation techniques. You could be training your own search and rescue team members, your outdoor professionals, or employees in high-risk industries like heavy industry. Or even teach the general public. Becoming a certified instructor often requires specific qualifications in first aid and a deep understanding of medical protocols, legal and effective training methodologies. Many organizations, both private training companies, certifying bodies, and employ full-time or contract instructors to help with them with this specialized expertise. Pathway number 13, adventure and thrill instructor. This is another avenue that I see often being taken by search and rescue specialists. It incorporates your search and rescue skills, especially if you got technical or you are outdoor adventure and you love teaching. Think about leading activities like rock climbing, kayaking, or whitewater rafting, mountaineering, caving, or operating zip lines. You can even be thinking about managing high rope courses in adventure parks. While the primary role is that of instructing and facilitating an enjoyable experience, you can be highly involved with safety and risk management. Often your advanced first aid or rescue qualifications are directly capable and applicable to these roles and are highly valued within the tourism industry. Many tourism companies outdoor education centers and dedicated activity providers like those you were able to find within the Ardennes here in Belgium and across Europe employ these types of instructors. Specific activity certifications are usually required, but a SAR background can give you a significant edge in both skill and operational safety mindset. So as you can see, well, the direct full-time search and rescue technician job title might be rare, and outside of a specific military government units, the umbrella of getting involved with paid search and rescue work covers a wider area than just the initial possibilities you might just initially think about. These can be indeed roles like in the instruction that we talked about, emergency management or international response, and all that using your search and rescue capabilities and experience. So to circle back to our main question, is a paid search and rescue position a realistic dream? My answer is, it is a challenging dream, definitely, but none entirely unrealistic for the most dedicated and prepared individuals. It's not like you're applying for your typical office job, which you absolutely know. This path is narrow, demanding, and it requires exceptional continuous skill and development. But if you want to develop these skills, you can definitely consider joining a course with us at Avalanche International Responder Development. Or consider joining our continuous professional development program on our website by joining our membership. Even if you're not considering to do that, your volunteer spirit will always be the backbone of search and rescue, no matter where you are in the world. But for those that are trying to transition to a paid role, it can be incredibly fulfilling, really rare, and a career that we always, and a lot of people will be jealous of you for being involved in it. But if you're willing to dedicate your life to it, if you're willing to develop your skills, and very likely put your own time and money into getting to develop a professional search and rescue certification, because it's not just you go to school and become a search and rescue technician. Now, if you are one of the lucky few that are in a paid search and rescue capability, share your thoughts down in the comments. I am very curious to know what your experience in and how you got into this role. It would help to share your valuable insights to others. So I hope that this video gave you some clarity, gave you some insights, and if you want more content on search and rescue, or either want to learn, or just for the entertainment's sake, consider subscribing to Avalanche International Responder Development, going to our website, or buying some of our merchandise. Thank you for watching. This is Robin for Avalanche International Responder Development, and I'll see you soon.